Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever noticed how a woman can walk into a room and without saying a single word, her entire presence announces that something has shifted inside her? There's a glow on her face that makeup could never create, a calmness in her spirit that no meditation could produce, and an energy that makes you stop and stare. These are not coincidences. They are undeniable signs of intimacy, signs that reveal the power of connection, the magic of closeness, and the truth that cannot be hidden. Today, we are going to uncover the 5 unmistakable signs of a woman who has just had intercourse. And once you understand them, you will never see her the same way again. Ladies and gentlemen, there are moments in life where energy cannot be hidden, where truth cannot be masked, and where the body tells a story even when the lips remain silent. When a woman has just been intimate, her entire aura changes. It is not always about the act itself, but about the transformation that happens in her energy, her spirit, and her body. And if you pay attention, you will notice signs that cannot be denied. These signs are not about exposing or embarrassing her, but about understanding the beautiful language of intimacy, the energy it releases, and the glow it produces. The first sign is her glow. There is a radiance that follows a woman who has just been with a man. It is not just the glow of skin, but the glow of energy. Her eyes shine a little brighter, her smile stretches a little wider, and her movements carry a softness that did not exist a few hours ago. She does not even need makeup because nature has already brushed her face with its finest touch. The glow is not artificial, it is the body's way of revealing the pleasure it has experienced, the joy it has soaked in, and the satisfaction it has embraced. You cannot fake this glow because it comes from within. It is too. A glow of being wanted, of being touched, of being adored. And when you see it, you will know. The second sign is her calmness. A woman who has just had intimacy carries a calm that is unmatched. She is not restless. She is not anxious. She is not running around looking for validation. She is centered. That calm is a reflection of release, a reflection of satisfaction, and a reflection of peace. Her breathing is slower, her tone softer, her energy balanced. She is not easily irritated or disturbed because intimacy has a way of softening the edges of her emotions. It is like a storm that has finally settled, a fire that has burned bright and now leaves behind a comforting warmth. When you encounter her in that moment, you will notice her serenity, her silence, and her peace. That calm is louder than any words she could ever say. The third sign is her sensitivity. After intimacy, a woman becomes more aware of her body and her surroundings. Her skin feels more alive, her senses heightened, her emotions closer to the surface. She laughs a little quicker, she blushes a little deeper, and her touch carries more meaning. She may find herself sensitive even to the smallest gestures, the way you hold her hand, the way you look at her, the way the world interacts with her. That sensitivity is a gift of intimacy. It reveals how deeply connected she is, not only to herself, but to the man who has touched her soul and body. If you pay attention, you will see it in the way she carries herself, the way she responds, and the way she feels the world. The fourth sign is her energy shift. Intimacy has a way of changing the energy in a woman's spirit. She might walk with more confidence, speak with more conviction, or carry herself with a playful lightness that was not there before. This shift is powerful because it is rooted in validation, in connection, and in the reminder that she is desired. For some women, it may come across as boldness, for others as a new softness, but in either case, it is undeniable. Her energy shifts because she has been reminded of her power and her beauty and her worth. That energy cannot be hidden. It radiates through her words, her movements, and her presence. People around her may not know the cause, but they will feel the change. The fifth sign is her desire for closeness. After intimacy, many women do not want distance. They want to stay close. It may be in the way she holds on to her partner a little longer, the way she curls into his arms, or the way she desires simple conversations that flow after the act. This need for closeness is not weakness. It is a reflection of the bond intimacy creates. It is a reminder that sex is not just physical. It is emotional, spiritual, and mental. She may crave silence together, laughter together, or even just presence together. That desire for closeness is her heart's way of saying, I am safe, I am connected, and I am fulfilled. It is not about possession, but about extension. She wants the intimacy to go beyond the body and into the soul. But beyond these 5 signs lies something deeper. It is the truth that intimacy changes us all, man or woman. It reminds us of our humanness, our need for connection, our craving for love, and our longing for closeness. A woman who has just had intimacy is not simply showing physical signs. She is reflecting the beauty of vulnerability, the courage of trust, and the magic of surrender. She shows the world that love, in its rawest form, leaves imprints that no one can erase. It is important to understand that these signs are not for judgment, but for appreciation. To see a woman glow is to see beauty at its purest. To witness her calm is to experience peace. To notice her sensitivity is to recognize her aliveness. To feel her energy shift is to honor her strength. And to embrace her desire for closeness is to celebrate love itself. Every sign tells a story. Every sign speaks of a journey. Every sign reflects the power of intimacy to transform. Too often, society reduces intimacy to something shallow, something hidden, something shameful. But in truth, it is one of the most powerful forces that shape our existence. It has the ability to heal wounds, to restore confidence, to deepen love, and to transform lives. When a woman shows these signs, it is not just about sex. It is about her spirit coming alive. It is about her femininity being celebrated. It is about her soul being touched in a way words can never describe. If you look closely, you will realize that intimacy is not just what happens in the dark. It is what shines in the light afterwards. It is not just what is felt in the body, but what radiates through the heart and soul. A woman who has just been touched with love will always reveal it, not because she intends to, but because the truth of intimacy cannot be hidden. It is written on her skin, it is painted in her smile, and it is carried in her energy. So when you recognize these 5 signs, do not see them as secrets exposed, but as the beauty of human connection revealed. Do not use them to judge, but to appreciate. Do not look at them with curiosity alone, but with respect for the sacredness of intimacy. Because at the end of the day, intimacy is not about the act. It is about the transformation. It is about how 2 souls collide, connect, and create a spark that continues to shine even after the moment has passed. And that, my friends, is the power of intimacy. It leaves traces that no one can erase, signs that cannot be hidden, and energy that cannot be denied. It is a language all its own, and when you learn to read it, you will never again underestimate the beauty of connection, the glow of fulfillment, and the signs of a woman who has just experienced the magic of closeness. When you understand these signs, you begin to realize that intimacy is not a shallow exchange, but a transformation that leaves behind invisible fingerprints on the soul. It is not merely about the physical act, it is about the energy that flows between 2 people and how it lingers long after the encounter has ended. A woman's body becomes the canvas of this experience, and the brush strokes of intimacy are revealed in ways she cannot hide, even if she wanted to. The beauty of this lies not in exposure, but in appreciation. Take a moment to reflect on the glow. That radiance that sits on her face after intimacy is more than biology. It is the reflection of confidence. She is reminded that she is desirable, that she is beautiful, and that she is worthy of affection. That glow tells the world that she has been seen, not just with eyes, but with soul. And when she walks out into the world with that glow, it cannot be stolen by negativity or drowned out by criticism. It is a powerful statement of self-assurance, even if she does not speak a word. Then comes the calm, that unmistakable tranquility that surrounds her. Many people underestimate the power of release and the way it transforms emotional stability. When she has given herself fully and has been met with equal intensity, her inner storms quiet down. She feels safe within herself. That calm becomes her anchor, grounding her no matter what chaos might swirl around her. You may look at her and wonder why nothing seems to faze her, and the truth is that intimacy has silenced her doubts, reassured her spirit, and gifted her with peace that radiates beyond her own body. Sensitivity, the third sign, is one of the most profound yet misunderstood. Imagine her senses sharpened, her emotions heightened, her awareness magnified. The smallest gestures suddenly matter: the brush of a hand, the tone of a voice, the way someone acknowledges her presence. She feels the world more deeply because intimacy has reminded her of her humanity, of her ability to feel, to connect, and to be vulnerable. This sensitivity is not weakness. It is strength in its purest form, because it means she is alive, awake, and connected to the depth of her being. It means she has dared to feel fully, and in that, she becomes unshakable. Her energy shift, the fourth sign, is undeniable. Watch the way she walks. Watch the way she speaks. There is a lightness, a boldness, or even a softness that was not there before. This is not pretense. It is the authentic ripple of intimacy. When a woman feels wanted, when she feels seen, her energy blossoms. She steps into spaces with a confidence that demands attention, even without words. Or she moves with a grace so delicate that people cannot help but be drawn to her. Either way, the shift is real. The energy of intimacy does not fade quickly. It reshapes her aura, her vibration, her presence. It transforms how she carries herself and how others perceive her. And then there is her longing for closeness. This is perhaps the most revealing of all. For a woman, intimacy is rarely just about the act. It is about the bond it creates. After the experience, her desire to stay near, to talk, to laugh, to hold on longer, is her soul expressing what her body has already lived. She does not want to pull away, because intimacy is not something to be rushed. It is something to be savored. That longing for closeness is a declaration that what just happened mattered, that it touched her deeply, that it awakened something inside her that refuses to be silenced. But let us go deeper. These signs are not just signals of intimacy. They are windows into the power of human connection. Think about it. Every glow, every calm breath, every heightened sensitivity, every shift of energy, every desire for closeness is evidence that intimacy is more than flesh. It is evidence that love, vulnerability, and trust leave imprints more permanent than any physical touch. It is a reminder that when two souls meet without fear, they create ripples that echo long after. Consider how society often teaches us to view intimacy. Too often, it is reduced to physical pleasure, stripped of meaning, and spoken of in whispers as though it is something to hide. But look at these signs. They are not hidden, they are radiant. They are not shameful, they are beautiful. They are not weaknesses, but strengths. They prove that intimacy is not something to be concealed, but something to be celebrated, honored, and respected. It is through intimacy that a woman is reminded of her femininity, her value, her wholeness. Now imagine the implications of this understanding. If more people recognized the depth of intimacy, if more people respected the transformation it brings, relationships would change. Instead of seeking shallow encounters, men and women alike would seek deeper bonds. Instead of measuring intimacy by its physicality alone, they would honor it for the energy, peace, confidence, and closeness it creates. Imagine a world where these signs were celebrated instead of judged, where a woman's glow was seen as sacred, where her calm was seen as strength, where her sensitivity was cherished, where her energy shift was admired, and where her desire for closeness was reciprocated with love. These signs also carry lessons for men. To witness a woman in her glow, to feel her calm, to see her sensitivity, to be in awe of her energy shift, and to respond to her desire. For closeness is a privilege, not a right. It is a reminder that intimacy is not something taken, but something shared. A man who pays attention to these signs understands that intimacy is not about ego, but about connection. He learns that his role is not just to engage in the act, but to nurture the aftermath, to honor the glow, to protect the calm, to embrace the sensitivity, to fuel the energy, and to reciprocate the closeness. And for women, these signs are reminders of power. The glow tells her she is radiant. The calm reminds her she is steady. The sensitivity affirms she is alive. The energy shift declares she is powerful. The desire for closeness reveals she is capable of deep love. These are not things to downplay. They are gifts of intimacy that deserve acknowledgement. Too many women try to hide these signs, fearing judgment or misinterpretation, but to hide them is to hide the truth of who they are. These signs are not flaws. They are badges of the most authentic human experience. When you put it all together, you realize that these 5 signs form a language that does not need words, a language that speaks through aura, presence, and energy. And when you learn to read this language, you gain a deeper appreciation not only for women, but for the sacredness of intimacy itself. Because it is not just about knowing if a woman has been intimate, it is about recognizing the divine transformation that intimacy creates. It is about honoring the beauty of vulnerability, the strength of trust, and the magic of connection. At its core, intimacy is a teacher. It teaches men to see beyond the surface. It teaches women to embrace their truth. It teaches humanity that the most powerful moments in life are not loud, not public, not dramatic. They are quiet, personal, and transformative. The glow, the calm, the sensitivity, the energy, and the closeness are all whispers of this truth. They are the quiet evidence that love, in its rawest form, changes everything. So the next time you encounter these signs, remember what they truly mean. They are not about exposure, they are about expression. They are not about judgment, they are about joy. They are not about shame, they are about celebration. Each sign is a story, each glow a chapter, each calm breath a verse, each energy shift a declaration, each longing for closeness a reminder that intimacy is the heartbeat of human connection. And those who learn to see it will never again take it for granted. What makes these signs even more fascinating is how universal they are, yet how uniquely they manifest in every woman. 2 women may experience the same act of intimacy, yet the way the glow sits on their faces, the calm settles in their spirits, and the energy shifts within them will never be identical. This is because intimacy is deeply personal. It draws from her past, her emotions, her dreams, and her insecurities, and weaves them into a new experience each time. That is why no 2 glows are the same, no 2 moments of calm mirror each other, and no 2 desires for closeness are expressed alike. Intimacy is a universal language, but it speaks in accents unique to every soul. It is also important to recognize that these signs do not exist in isolation. They are interconnected, flowing from one into the other, creating a tapestry that reflects the fullness of a woman's experience. Her glow enhances her calm deepens her sensitivity, her sensitivity fuels her energy shift, and her energy shift amplifies her longing for closeness. Each one strengthens the other, reminding us that intimacy is not a fragment of life, but a wholeness that spills over into every aspect of her being. When you understand this interconnectedness, you begin to respect intimacy at a higher level. You realize that it is not something casual or meaningless because it leaves footprints too large to deny. A woman cannot engage in intimacy and remain unchanged. Her body, mind, and spirit respond in ways that declare transformation. And if you pay attention, you will see that these signs are not just about her, they affect everyone around her. The people she interacts with, the spaces she enters, the conversation she has, all become subtly influenced by the energy she carries. Intimacy is not contained within 4 walls. It travels with her into the world. Consider the workplace, for example. A woman who walks in glowing after a night of closeness may not even speak of it, but her colleagues feel her energy. She seems lighter, more confident, more radiant. Or think of her family and friends. Her calm presence becomes contagious. Her sensitivity makes her more compassionate. Her energy shift brings laughter into rooms, and her desire for closeness strengthens her bonds. These signs extend beyond the private and shape the public because energy cannot be hidden. It is felt, it is absorbed, it is shared. There is also a lesson here about authenticity. In a world where so many people put on masks, intimacy strips them away. A woman cannot fake the afterglow, cannot manufacture the calm, cannot pretend the sensitivity, cannot artificially create the energy shift, and cannot force the longing for closeness. These are authentic expressions, honest revelations of what she has just lived. And that authenticity is powerful. It reminds us that the most beautiful parts of life are not the things we curate for social media or the roles we play in public, but the raw, unfiltered truths that emerge when we allow ourselves to be vulnerable. And yet many try to suppress these signs. Society sometimes teaches women to hide their glow, to downplay their calm, to toughen up against their sensitivity, to mute their energy shift, or to suppress their longing for closeness out of fear of judgment. But in doing so, they deny themselves the full richness of intimacy. To live authentically is to embrace these signs, to walk boldly with the glow, to proudly embody the calm, to honor the sensitivity, to move with the energy shift, and to unapologetically seek the closeness that intimacy awakens. True empowerment lies in embracing, not erasing. Let us also reflect on how intimacy creates healing. For many women, these signs are not just indicators of physical connection, but evidence of emotional restoration. The glow is not only about pleasure, it is about being reminded that she is loved and desired. The calm is not only about release, it is about finding safety in someone's arms. The sensitivity is not only about heightened senses, it is about being reminded of her humanity. The energy shift is not only about confidence, it is about reclaiming her worth. The desire for closeness is not only about affection, it is about healing loneliness. Intimacy, when experienced in love and respect, becomes a medicine that heals wounds that words could not reach. And think about what this means for relationships. A man who truly understands these signs becomes more than a partner. He becomes a nurturer of transformation. He realizes that his touch is not just physical, but spiritual. He knows that when he makes her glow, he is not just giving her pleasure, but affirming her beauty. He understands that when he leaves her calm, he is not just helping her relax, but helping her find peace. He values her sensitivity because it means she is deeply alive. He celebrates her energy shift because it is proof that she is blooming. He honors her desire for closeness because it shows that love has extended beyond the body. Such a man is rare, but when he exists, intimacy becomes not just an act, but a covenant. The presence of these signs also speaks to the power of balance. Intimacy balances the masculine and feminine energies within her, reminding her that she can be both soft and strong, vulnerable and powerful, calm and radiant. It teaches her that true strength is not about hardness, but about balance. And when she steps into the world balanced, she becomes unstoppable. Her decisions become clearer, her relationships healthier, her goals more focused, because intimacy has aligned her inner world. But let us not ignore the truth that intimacy can also be misused. When it is approached without love, without respect, without intention, the signs may appear differently. The glow may be dimmed, the calm replaced by confusion, the sensitivity by pain, the energy shift by heaviness, the desire for closeness by withdrawal. This is why intimacy must never be taken lightly. It is sacred, and when treated carelessly, it can harm as deeply as it can heal. Understanding the signs is not only about recognizing their beauty, but also about recognizing their fragility. To protect intima. Psi is to protect the very core of human connection. So what does this mean for us? It means that every sign carries a message not only about her, but about us as a society. If we learn to honor the glow, we learn to celebrate beauty. If we learn to respect the calm, we learn to value peace. If we learn to embrace the sensitivity, we learn to appreciate vulnerability. If we learn to admire the energy shift, we learn to recognize transformation. And if we learn to honor the desire for closeness, we learn to build deeper bonds. These lessons go beyond intimacy. They are lessons for life itself. The next time you encounter a woman whose presence feels different, whose glow catches your eye, whose calm settles your spirit, whose sensitivity draws you in, whose energy shift inspires you, or whose desire for closeness humbles you, Pause. Do not rush to assumptions. Do not fall into judgment. Instead, honor what you are witnessing. You are not just seeing the aftermath of intimacy, you are seeing the reflection of love, connection, and transformation. You are witnessing humanity at its most beautiful, raw, and sacred state. These signs remind us that intimacy is more than what we do, it is who we become afterward. It is not about the temporary act, but the lasting energy. It is not about fleeting moments, but about enduring imprints. And once you truly see it, you cannot unsee it. You will carry with you the understanding that intimacy is not shallow, not ordinary, not meaningless. It is extraordinary, it is powerful, and it is life-changing.